you live in an area known for hurricanes, you know you need protection. The destruction caused by wind, wind-driven rain, and flying debris is all around us. And most people understand that not all products provide the same level of protection or usability. There are many differences between screwing plywood over a window, installing thin aluminum shutters, or deploying an armor screen hurricane protection system. One of the most surprising things is how many people who know they need hurricane protection wait until the last minute to prepare when a storm is headed right for them. You're about to learn why Armor Screen is the best hurricane protection available and why the best time to prepare is right now. The truth is that many forms of hurricane protection do not provide real protection. Part of the problem lies in the way we use 5 categories to rank storms, all based on wind speed. As you can see, the wind speed doubles from a Category 1 storm to a Category 5. What's important is to look at the increase in wind power, not wind speed. The power of the wind increases significantly with each new category. A Category 5 storm is actually 800% more powerful than a Category 1. According to the National Center for Atmospheric Research, this means that a Category 5 hurricane is 500 times more destructive than a Category 1. There are other factors besides the increase in wind power that make storms more destructive. Any overhang of 4 feet or more can create a compression zone that multiplies the wind load. This is how many roofs are ripped off during storms. Even if the eye of the storm doesn't cross over your area, significant damage can occur because of feeder bands. These sweeping arms, so visible in satellite photos, can spawn tornadoes, intense thunderstorms, and plenty of wind-driven rain. The flying debris from trees and other structures can break through stormproof glass, plywood, and thin aluminum shutters. When the building envelope is breached, the damage goes up. Sometimes the structure survives, but in areas of widespread destruction, it can take a long time to repair broken windows and doors. The water damage from weeks or months of exposure can be more difficult to deal with than the original storm. Stories of people being displaced from their homes for months are common. Armor Screen provides real protection. The system is Miami-Dade certified. And then it's been tested to 274 miles per hour, more than 5 times the strict requirements of Miami-Dade. Why take such an extreme approach? Because this is the way you create superior protection from wind and wind-driven rain. This is how you ensure protection from large missile impacts. This is how you make sure you exceed code. This is how you create the best hurricane protection available. The top emergency management facilities in Florida could choose any hurricane protection system on the market. They chose Armor Screen. The 911 Emergency Call Center for Orange County handled over 600 calls a minute during the peak of the 2004 hurricanes. Imagine what would have happened if they had not had Armor Screen protecting the facility and had lost the ability to operate during the storms. If Armor Screen is the solution of choice for these critical facilities, you can trust it will protect your valuable buildings and people. Many evacuation centers in Florida have chosen Armor Screen for hurricane protection. Again, these facilities cannot risk failure of their wind, large missile, and wind-driven rain protection systems. Evacuation centers have an extreme need for simple, reliable egress. That's one of the reasons they chose Armor Screen. The wind load on doors can prevent them from being opened during a storm. If people need to get in or out, they may have a problem if the area in front of the doors is loaded with high winds. Armor Screen creates safe zones even in large outdoor areas. People can move between rooms and find relief from overcrowded emergency quarters. The same is true for homeowners. One customer reported going through a hurricane sitting on their lanai, playing games with their grandchildren. All protected by Armor Screen. Another reason that Armor Screen is the best hurricane protection is that it has little or no impact on the aesthetics of the building. There are numerous mounting systems available to meet customer requirements, and they are all designed to be as invisible as possible. In many cases, the most important area that needs protection simply can't be protected by traditional rigid systems. Armor Screen can protect almost any opening, wide or tall expanses of glass, unique architectural structures, and even large outdoor areas are easily protected with Armor Screen. When nothing else will do the job, Armor Screen is certainly the best solution for hurricane protection. The Armor Screen system remedies the most significant problems of traditional rigid systems. For instance, one large commercial installation required 3 days with a 6-man crew just to deploy the rigid system. Their Armor Screen system only takes 2 hours to deploy. This means you can wait until the last minute to deploy your Armor Screen system, even in windy conditions. Armor Screen is so advanced, offering solutions to the key issues of traditional systems, that it has been called the future of hurricane protection. For most people, the fact that you can see through Armor Screen makes it the best choice. Enduring the anxiety-producing winds, rain, loss of power, and other difficulties of a hurricane are more tolerable when you can see out. You can deploy the system well in advance, or leave it up for the whole season, knowing that you can still see out. Some people use Armor Screen as a sunscreen to increase the time they can take advantage of outdoor spaces and beautiful views. Besides being fast and easy to deploy and store, Armor Screen has virtually no maintenance required. This makes it the easiest system on the market to actually use and live with. And it's surprisingly cost-effective when compared to top-of-the-line rigid systems. Homeowners may find their insurance deductibles reduced by more than the cost of the system. Even more importantly, Armor Screen protects your family and your valuable possessions from loss by storm. Most businesses will see the return on their investment when they calculate the cost of downtime from storm damage. Consider all the ways that Armor Screen protects you and your home, office, or facility. You'll agree that it truly is the best hurricane protection available. And here's why you need to protect your property now. Armor Screen is a petroleum-based product. The ongoing price increases you see at the gas pump will be reflected in future increases in the cost of protecting your property. You can lock in the lowest possible price right now. Everyone in the storm protection industry gets overwhelmed with customers as the hurricane season builds. The spring and summer rush can create delays in manufacturing and installation crew availability. Fulfillment can be pushed out to 6 months or more. You can ensure protection from future storms by scheduling installation right now. It's easy to put off deciding about storm protection. Yes, it's important, but there seem to be many more urgent problems. Until a hurricane is headed right for you. Then protection becomes important and urgent. Most people make poor decisions in times of crisis. We've had calls from homeowners and facility managers in a panic to find protection in the next few days before the hurricane hits. This problem gets worse when we experience storm after storm just a few weeks apart throughout the season.
There's no way but Florida is going to get much more hurricane damage in the next 2 or 3 decades than it had in the last 2 or 3 decades. Most Floridians don't know how lucky they have really been.
We're teaming up with people to help them prepare for the future. Rather than face questions about why you weren't prepared, you can ensure superior storm protection for years to come by deciding right now. The next step is easy. Your Armor Screen dealer can provide a detailed proposal customized for your installation. And you can choose Armor Screen, the best hurricane protection available.